It is Wednesday, my dudes, and Wildcats, that means we got a brand new episode of High School Musical, the series, Season 3, Episode 4, and even though this episode is titled No Drama, I'm pretty sure we all knew we were going to be lied to, and that this episode would in fact entail some of the spillage of tea that Corbin Bleu talks about in this episode. This week, we're back to our normal way of doing things, so we're going to start with our Wildcat of the Week, who is Courtney this week. Courtney's talk with her mom about her anxiety, feeling anxious about college, and this total thought spiral that she has towards the end of the episode, even though she's kind of trying to, show off this episode, be confident, conceal and not feel, if you will, you know what I'm saying, her anxiety, and kind of put on this performance of being really confident, cool Courtney, ready to be Elsa. And I just really related to what she was going through. I remember feeling very similarly at the time, and I really loved that the show re-established, I guess, that her and Nini were best friends, like lifelong best friends, and now Nini has up and moved not once but twice away from Courtney. This has got to be difficult on Courtney to be like doing something for the first time away from her like best friend, and also dealing with all of this anxiety and all of these fears, and so I just really related to her. Give it up for Courtney, our Wildcat of the Week this week. Then on to our bop to the top moments. Love is an open door. When I saw the preview yesterday, when it released on Instagram, smiled like an idiot. Today, smiled like an idiot. Watching, I ship Portwell so hard, it's not even funny. Like, I think they are adorable. I love how kind of nervous they are together, how much they really care about each other. I absolutely loved when EJ was like, stay in your lane, Bowen, when Ricky volunteered to sing the song since he knew it, because, I mean, we'll talk about that more later, but I just love EJ and Gina and how even when they're not doing it in the best way possible, they're always trying to be great for each other. It's just, where will that lead them in the future? I'm nervous, but I think they're adorable. The comment from the producer about being a PA on Nick Viall's season of The Bachelor, a lot of the younger audience of the show may not remember who Nick Viall is, but let's put it this way, even though he has mellowed out, he has since, I think, reclaimed his image and had a redemptive arc within the Bachelor franchise. He was known as a very chaotic show, we'll say, in the olden days of The Bachelor, and that reference just explains everything you need to know for how this producer was going to act for the rest of the episode and what he and Corbin Bleu wanted. And that's to me when the show looks at me and says, like, I know that you're 22 years old and watching the show. Corbin Bleu can't hurt me. He's just a character in a documentary. Carlos's line about that just cracked me up, because it's like, I think, one, I want to commend Corbin Bleu being so willing to act like such a jerk in this show, because there's obviously people who aren't necessarily acquainted with him, that this might be their first introduction, and I think that's super cool of an actor to like be in on it and be in on like being unlikable. But I think the way that Carlos is experiencing the fact that they all thought Corbin Bleu was going to be this super fun celebrity who would love the fact that they all put on High School Musical and they're all super dedicated to theater, but really at the end of the day he's there for a paycheck. And I just really like that kind of angle of Corbin's character so much, and I'd love to see what they do in future seasons of the show if they continue to get members of the original cast in there. The Teen Beat magazine that Courtney references for being her reference point for what Corbin Bleu likes, hilarious. Ricky's B-Day list, his birthday list before he turns 18, I think is hilarious. I also kind of like that there's some, added stakes for him the night of opening night. It's his birthday, but I really loved that list, and specifically the hugging the celebrity, and when he goes like this when he hugs Corbin Bleu, absolutely hysterical. Loved that. And then fabulous, the number, but mainly because of one thing, and that was when they cut to like the drone shot, the bird's eye view of the pool, and Carlos is doing like the water choreography. There's only like 4 other dancers in the pool with him, which I think is hilarious, because like in Fabulous, in High School Musical 2, which just found out released 15 years ago today, 15 years ago to the day, crazy. Like that pool scene, that dance choreography in the pool is so big. It's such a big musical number, and Carlos's is just like 4 people in the pool, and it's so funny. That's it. That's all for my bops to the tops. Now my scream moments, and my scream moments are kind of like, it's just that, I am a simple woman, and I just want, my characters to be pushed to grow, but like not them actually get themselves into drama or make bad choices. But of course that's what happens in these shows. And so the EJ storing up the drama for the show, I think, is such a great use, and he's a perfect character to do that with, because one, he has the stakes in, because he's trying to convince his dad that he should be able to take a gap year, and that influences his relationship with Gino, and it also references the fact that EJ has changed from the past, but he's still kind of got the same tendencies, the same self-sabotaging tendencies of kind of fame seeking, taking the easy way out, causing drama. And so all of those things mesh together, make it like you can see where the character is coming from, of like, if I just create drama for them, Gina will still get to be the lead. I might be able to create good television, convince my dad I don't need to go to college right away. Like, there's so many reasons for him to do this, yet it's still kind of obviously the wrong choice. And you're like, dude, don't do it, but he's gonna do it. And then my main scream is just because I don't know where the show's going with this, and it could either end up as really good writing or really sloppy writing, or like a big waste of our time, but a way to involve a lot of characters. And that's this huge complication that this episode introduced of complicating relationships. The only exception is the fact that when Jet ran away, basically, like tried to leave the camp, and Maddox freaked out, Carlos thinking that they're in a relationship, it reminds me of those like siblings or dating things on Instagram. But all these other complications of relationship, for example, Maddox sort of insinuates that Ashlyn might like Val, and she's already kind of shut down Big Red references twice. Like, she's kind of been like, whatever, your boyfriend back home, nobody cares. And I don't like that, because I had a lot invested in Big Red and Ashlyn, and we went through a lot of stuff with them last season, so don't really want that to be written away. I understand that things change over camp. I understand that these kids are young and they're not necessarily all gonna like be with their high school relationships and get married, whatever, but it's sad to me, because I don't like that the insinuation seems to be coming out of a place of spite. And even if that's something that Ashlyn actually feels, I kind of want to see that come to fruition without having to be told that might be something that's coming to fruition. I also feel like Val might like EJ, but I also can't tell if she's just like big sister to EJ and wants him to do the right thing to Gina, or if like she's jealous because she wants to be EJ's girlfriend, but like isn't gonna be problematic about it, isn't gonna like interfere with them. And then Ricky. Of course, Ricky's still got his feelings for Gina, because the man can't chill out. He literally went from being obsessed with Nene and being sad that they broke up to then dating Lily for like 2 weeks off screen, and now we're where we are, and he's like in love with Gina. Now, do I like the way that they're handling it, that like the show is kind of acknowledging that like this could be a problem, but it's also being attached to like the overproduced drama side of this season from the in-show documentary? Yes, I like that angle. I understand that this adds dramatic tension, but I am so sick and tired of love triangles. Love triangles are my least favorite of all romantic tropes. Like, just put it on record for me saying that. Like, I get it. It's easy to be like, here's these two people, they both have their equal flaws and like pros to them. But I feel like if Ricky ends up getting with Gina, which I don't think that's the direction that the show is actually going, put my prediction down here, but if he ends up going, it feels like a pity win for him. I'm gonna be completely honest, because it feels like he's not really doing anything. EJ kind of messes up on his own, and then Gina isn't like her own character with her own agency, and like that's the thing that bothers me about it, is it's like it always prioritizes who Ricky wants to be with over the girl themselves, and that kind of annoys me. This whole storyline, I'm just not digging. I'm not digging it. I also kind of picked up on vibes that maybe like Jet was into Ricky and jealous that Ricky liked Gina, but it's all just a web. It all just is like this, all of these romantic connections, and no, I'm over it. Create me a new ship. If someone was like Maddox and Val are gonna be a couple, I'd be like, great, I'm on board. But like, and what worries me is that all of this is going to be a big misunderstanding, and at the end of the season, people are just going to be with who they were with before. And then it's going to be like, so you did this for what? You did this for what? You telling me I ordered Ratatouille for nothing? That's what I don't want the end of the season to be. But those are my thoughts on episode 4 of High School Musical, the musical, this series. What did you think of this episode? Please let me know in the comments down below. Please also like this video if you enjoyed this review, and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my High School Musical, the musical, the series reviews or live streams, which happen on Monday evenings. Thank you all again so much for watching. Have an absolutely amazing day or night whenever you're getting to watch this, and I will see you in my very next video. Bye, y'all.